Today we're looking at the 5 fastest speed climbers in parkour. These guys can scale multi-story buildings in seconds and are the closest thing we have to a real-life Spider-Man. No ropes, no harnesses, just pure speed, power, and incredible bravery. And some of these athletes have even climbed the exact same buildings. So we're gonna put them side by side and see who's faster. For the first athlete on our list, we go over to the Bay Area in San Francisco, where Darryl Stingley has been going to war with every wall, fence, and overpass that he can find. Darryl has been hustling on this old school A to B style of parkour for years, and it really showed in his 2021 video, Trials Morales, which featured a number of explosive ascents with absolutely perfect execution. Darryl is an incredibly skilled athlete, and it honestly looks like the only thing holding him back is the San Francisco architecture. Most of his climbs seem to be on highways or schools and offer only 1 or 2 stories of ascent and little variation between them. In fact, one of his best climbs was just straight up a metal girder, which he shot up like a squirrel in no time flat. The possibilities in San Francisco do seem extremely limited compared to the European style architecture used by the rest of the athletes on this list. Darryl has been absolutely smashing it at home, but I'd still love to see him head out to Europe at some point and really put himself to the test. Actually, just the other day, Darryl came out with a whole new 180 technique, which British powerhouse Orlando Devaux has already started using in his training. I would love to see them train together at some point and push each other to new heights. The next athlete on the list is Brodie Pawson from Brisbane, Australia. Now, Brodie is much more well known for his huge running jumps, plyos, and 180s, which have earned him hundreds of millions of views online since all the way back in 2017. But he's also been grinding away on ascents for years and is definitely one of the quickest people to ever climb up a building. He has a really impressive range of ascents, from old school Victorian style buildings to classic car parks and even one made up entirely of blue rails. He always manages to find a unique challenge. Unfortunately, he never put together a dedicated video of his climbs, and several of his best ones can only be found in watch ads on his Instagram or while he's wearing an Assassin's Creed costume. But we've all got to pay the bills, and Brodie is one of only a very small number of parkour athletes who've managed to make a living doing what they love. So you can't hold it against him. And he's not just fast up a building. Brodie had a fantastic competitive career in parkour speed competitions as well, which culminated in him winning the SPL1 World Parkour Championships in Vancouver, Canada in 2022. Oh! Brodie even briefly held the parkour dyno world record before Tim Robocop Champion overtook him. And actually, Tim is another athlete that I'd like to see do more ascents because his wall runs and dynos are next level. I'm sure he'd be extremely good at them if he dedicated some time to it. Next up, we head over to the UK, where Shane Griffith has been speed climbing the buildings of Cambridge for over a decade. The self-proclaimed parkour climber guy, Shane is the only athlete on this list who posts exclusively climbs, and has done so for a long time. He's not concerned with big jumps or flips or any of that rubbish, and might be the only athlete in the world who's entirely dedicated to parkour speed climbing. He also has one of the coolest jobs in the world. He tests obstacle courses for shows like Ninja Warrior. Shane released his first big speed climbing video back in 2019 and quickly made himself known as the man when it came to parkour climbing. After the success of the first video, he and Scott Bass made 2 follow-ups, Ascent 2 in 2020 and then Ascent 3, which came out in March of this year. Now, while Shane has clearly still got it, especially when it comes to the more technical rock climbing-esque challenges, his 5-year hiatus left a big gap in the market for a younger, faster athlete to become the new face of parkour speed climbing. And the next athlete on this list took that challenge quite literally, going so far as to fly to the UK and meet up with Shane in his hometown to race him on some of Cambridge's toughest ascents. Hailing from Denmark, Momo blasted onto the scene last year with this climb, which did crazy numbers on Instagram. However, the climb was actually discovered by Shane, and they did it together. Let's see who's faster. Now that was extremely close, but it looks like Momo won by just a few milliseconds. Although to be fair to Shane, look at the size difference between them. This seems like a classic case of the older, more experienced guy getting edged out by that next generation. And despite this video being the first time that a lot of the parkour world had heard of Momo, I scrolled all the way down to his first ever Instagram post from 2013, and he's been grinding on the climbs since all the way back then. And right now he looks more committed than ever, from hitting crazy lifting numbers in the gym to training climb-ups with a weighted backpack in the snow. Momo doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon. It's also worth remembering that these guys are not rock climbers, but parkour athletes, which Momo perfectly exemplifies in this video of how he uses a rock climbing gym. His recently formed parkour team Shaman have made 2 video projects so far, showcasing the best parkour talent from Denmark with incredible cinematography. In their most recent one, Shaman in UK, Momo shows off not only his climbs, but some massive jumps and descents too. However, the opening clip to their first video project, Shaman Worldwide, contains a mind-blowing climb done by the only athlete who's ever been able to beat Momo in a climb-off. It is, of course, the OG Danish parkour master, Oliver Thorpe, one of the most skilled athletes ever to grace the sport and the fastest parkour speed climber on the planet. Oliver and Momo have been training ascents together for years, occasionally even hitting the exact same climbs. So let's have a look at a couple of them and get some perspective on just how fast Oliver really is.
Oh my god.
Despite being the shorter man, Oliver's explosiveness and coordination are truly unmatched. However, to be fair to Momo, I did find one climb where he just about managed to beat him. I mean, fair play to Momo, and he is a few years younger, so I imagine he'll be there to pick up the crown when Oliver slows down. Now, Oliver is a well-respected athlete in the parkour community, but he is so incredibly well-rounded that if you ask someone for his speciality, I'm really not sure what they'd say. I mean, they might say speed climbing, but it could just as easily be laches, underbars, double kongs, skill competitions, or all manner of technical challenges. He really can do it all. But as the king of parkour speed climbing, it's only right that he founded the world's first urban speed climbing competition, which took place just the other day at Aarhus Urban Extreme Sports Festival in Denmark.
Urban speed climbing is a mix between parkour and speed climbing. So you are rigged up in a harness with a safety wire.
Now, obviously, removing the element of risk makes it no longer just parkour, but creates an incredible format for a new competitive sport. And it looks like there was a great mix of both parkour athletes and speed climbers taking part. But who do you think won? Well, American parkour athlete Renae Dambly took it home for the women, and of course, Oliver Thorpe won in the men's. So we didn't let the speed climbers beat us just yet, but it's really sick to see the Aarhus Council getting behind this, and I hope they can grow the sport and run competitions in more places around the world. So there you have it, the fastest parkour speed climbers in the world. Also, honorable mention goes out to Tom Coppola, who's been grinding on the parkour speed climbing for years. His videos Ascension and Ascension 2 are definitely worth a watch, not to mention his dive holes project, which was absolutely insane for pretty obvious reasons. And Matthew Jang also definitely deserves a mention. I mean, he'd be right up there if he just bought a pair of shoes. Anyway, what do you guys think of all these? Do you think this is cooler than Olympic speed climbing always on the same course?
This one a go, it's going to be on the bottom, this one it is! And it's Sam Watson with another world record!
Let me know in the comments. Also, please subscribe for more videos like this, and let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover in a future video. Until next time, cheers.
Mad as savage, me back and I'm back in it happening, ready to blow. I remember doing deeds with Deji from the street, they left me on my own. Mom kept asking me about how I got the P, I told her leave it mum and grow. Then they're ringing off my phone, then they're ringing off my phone.